If you're looking to expand your acoustic guitar tone, but you're not sure where to start, this video is made just for you.
In this video, we're going to be comparing 3 great options for leveling up your creativity. From the internal effects of the Yamaha TransAcoustic, the new AFX pedals from Fishman, and the trusted internal effects of the Fishman Loudbox amps. Stick around to see which one we think is your best option.
Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be a fun one, Jer. We're going to talk about all kinds of effects. There's lots of options out there these days.
What effect the effects have on you.
EFX. Anyway, as always, you can listen to the full performance of the song on a separate video, as well as we're going to, if you want to skip ahead, you can see the tone demos of each of these effects options. So let's talk about these 3 different options that we have here today. We're going to be comparing, obviously, the Yamaha LL-TA VT, which is the TransAcoustic effects that are built into a guitar. Now, again, this is going to be our most expensive option if you're just after.
Because it comes with a guitar.
It comes with a guitar. You are correct, Jeremy. It's a great way to look at it.
Great bargain.
This is effects that come with a guitar. Now that does price out at $1129.95 or $99. I apologize. You got to save that extra 4 cents.
Yeah.
Anyway, we also going to be using the Fishman Loudbox Artist, a standard in the world of amplification and effects. Now again, that one comes with a free amp. So effects generation at $824.99 or $95. See, I can't read. This is
Everything else is 95.
Anyway, and we're going to be talking also about the new pedals from Fishman, the AFX, which we're going to use the Acoustic Verb and the Blue Chorus, because those are 2 effect sounds we're going to be using. Each one of those prices out at $119.95. So obviously, the pedals, that's our least expensive option if you just want effects.
You're still going to have a guitar and an amp to make them work.
You are correct. So, well, not necessarily the amp, but yeah, I mean, yes, I see what you're saying.
So, not necessarily comparing apples to apples, but to have what we've got rigged out here, you kind of know the price involved.
Absolutely. So you'll know what these are. Now, this has been something really cool because, and this is what we really wanted to get down here was talk about what's going on with this particular guitar, and is it something that you can use for multiple options? Because obviously, the cool thing about the TransAcoustic is it's effects that you can hear without an amp.
Yeah, you can just be practicing by yourself and get the feeling of being in a large room, get some of the cool effects already generated through your guitar. All acoustic, you don't need any outboard gear at all, and that really kind of just changes your approach, especially if you're songwriting. Just practicing, it just gives you a little bit of a different feel. I think that's a very cool option. I wish they'd come up with that for the mandolin world, but alas, they have not.
Oh, they probably will shortly. Don't worry about that. So part of that is with the TransAcoustic, you do only have 2 options for effects. You have a reverb and you have a chorus. Now, it does give you 2 different kinds of reverb, which is kind of interesting. A little bit weird to dial in, but you do have a room verb, which is a short decay reverb, and then a hall one, and then the amount of all that, of either one of those 2. Just depends on where your knob is.
Just drum the guitar once without any effects on it.
Well, first, before we do that, then we need to mute this, and that'll work. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kind of show you guys with, without. That's just the guitar without.
Like a guitar to me.
Now, if we wanted to add some chorus, we can do that. Or lots of chorus. Now, if we want to add some verb, this is some room verb along with that chorus. Or a hall verb. Now that's just coming directly from, now be aware, if you do it too long, that big verb, it'll want to feedback. But it is doing it from the guitar. So this is actually using the guitar as a sound processor, and which is kind of cool. Now, one thing that we did find out and why we're doing this is that you can output the effects that are in here through its pickup, and that's what we're going to be testing here today. You can test this through the amp.
So basically, yeah, the things you've dialed in your own front living room, if you do plug into a PA system or an amp, you can actually export that or send that signal to the final amplification.
Now, again, we talked about it doesn't have a whole lot of variables, so there's one of the things that's going to be a little bit odd to get used to. Is you basically have, of course, amount of it. That's it. the amount of room or the amount of hall. That's pretty much what your choices are on this. Now again, what is kind of cool we found out is that you can have this generate the acoustic sound while outputting that, or you can turn off the acoustic, the TransAcoustic part of it, and just output the effects that are on board here. Now, when we come to the Fishman Loudbox Artist, now we have a little bit more options. We got 2 different reverbs, a delay and an echo in Effect Bank 1, and we have 2 different kinds of choruses, a flanger and a slap echo in Effect Bank 2, and we can do any combination above that.
And then you control the time delay and the depth of those too as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have some controls there. Now we get to our third option, which is just truly effects, and that's what the new AFX pedals are all about. And we were looking at this. The chorus effect gives you 3 different types of chorus. You have an analog chorus, a vintage chorus, and a classic. Now, I don't know what the difference between a classic and a vintage chorus is, because I kind of find them to sound like they're the same.
Similar.
Now, obviously, they sound different in the pedal, but I'm lost on that terminology. We have depth control, a tone control, and a rate for the chorus, and then that same sort of idea going on here with the verb. We have a spring verb, a hall verb, and a plate verb. Again, level, it does have a tone and a decay time. And that's one thing I've liked about the acoustic pedals is having the tone control, because it does kind of give you some differences from a lot of effects pedals that are built for electric guitars. These are designed to sound really good with acoustic instruments, a little bit warmer, a little bit richer, where you don't have
Say with
quite
choruses
as much.
especially, it just seems like they can be a little brittle sounding almost, so if you can dial
Even
that in a little
reverbs,
bit.
absolutely. That's, you want to be able to get that. So win number 1, obviously, if we're talking about pedals, you've got way more choices.
This thing is designed just to do those things when both these other
This goes back to what we said in the first place, which was this is an effects thing that comes with a guitar. This is an effects thing that comes with an amp. This is just effects. So I would think if it's just going to do that, it's got to have a lot more options for you on that. So what we're going to do right now is kind of give you guys a tone sample of the 3 different ones. We dialed them in very close to each other.
Pretty close.
And as close as we can. Obviously, like I said, there's a lot of variables that can be done. We dialed them in close so you can kind of hear the differences in the 3 different techniques of creating effects for your acoustic guitar. though we dialed them in very close, there definitely is differences between the three of them.
And advantages, obviously being able to really dial in what tone you're looking for and kind of leave it there is a huge advantage. Being able to just acoustically play your guitar and then say, what would that sound like with some effects? That's just a really cool option. And then I think these are one of the best amps out there as far as getting really good acoustic tone, having some options. So they all have different advantages and disadvantages. I think they would all make great options, but it just depends on your use case.
Yeah, I agree. We're definitely gonna have to come back and visit these different ones to kind of get into more in-depth review of those, so you can really hear what they're capable of, because there's a lot more than what you're hearing in this video. And speaking of hearing more in the video, also we did a video on the LL-16, so you can hear more about this guitar. That one was without the TransAcoustic side of it, which you can order either way. But that's a great guitar, and it might be a video. If you like this one, you might want to check on that one, so that you can go find out if a Yamaha LL-16 is your game. Maybe you want effects. I don't know. Maybe. Anyway, check that one out. And again, thank you guys for joining us here at the Acoustic Shop, where we will continue with more cool, strange videos about acoustic instruments
and gear.
Yeah, let's check it out.
See you guys.